Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you because potential tracking attempt stopped. Good advice. There you are, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you always, in this day and age, you can't go without really a VPN nowadays. God almighty, which one was it I got again? I honestly don't remember. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you back to Candlemass. Now, I have almost wanted to... I'll give you guys a piece of advice. I have been deliberately holding myself back from this because, and it's no joke, ladies and gentlemen, doom metal is my favourite subgenre of metal. Better than heavy, better than thrash, better than black. Doom is for me where it's at, and I like it for these few reasons, because it's the song that it's the genre that makes me want to go to sleep and dream about flying with dragons. It's the genre that makes me want to wake up and literally tell the world I am in love with it and I love everything on this earth. I feel like a brand new person just from this genre. And it's like listening to a book you've never heard of, but you've always wanted in your life. Because that sets an important precedent, ladies and gentlemen, is that maybe I'm the sort of person that Doom was made for, because maybe it's full of like-minded people who wanted to write stuff, maybe about people like me, perhaps. Maybe about you, perhaps. It's fascinating because I relate like massively in all that, and I am getting a bit of a contact high from all this because I can't help it. That's just sort of why I love it so much. And Candlemass is people have told me that like Nightfall is like the best doom metal album ever made, and I will go back and listen to I think it's called At the Gallows Head, I think was the only other song I have done before in this. Let me see if I can just find out exactly. At the Gallows End. Okay, so should we just do, after we do Bewitched, should we just do everything from the beginning for Nightfall? Maybe we should. Yeah, okay, well maybe we'll play it by ear. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. So let's begin. Bewitched in 3, 2, 1, and... Okay, I talked about how, literally, from the word go, that I would, I feel like it's the song that makes me, it's this genre that makes me want to, like, fall asleep and, you know, chase the dragons, you know, I don't say the word, I want to love it, you know, oh, that was a pussy slap, you know, let me try it again. It was sort of, like, in the right place. I'll tell you what, I'll try the other hand, I'll just do it like this. It's not quite red enough. Let me try it one more time. No, I rolled with it. Let me do it again. No, and... No, rolled again. Okay, I think that should do it enough. The only reason I did that at all, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm gonna try and, like, wake myself the fuck up and take this back from the beginning and turn the volume up. There's a phrase, you've heard me say this before, ladies and gentlemen, and I know nobody's commented on it, and I don't know why, because it's a great term. This has what I would honestly describe as, like, it's not hitting my G-spot. This is stomping this is stomping a mud pie into my G-spot. This is taking a sledgehammer and straight onto it. This is the kind of music that gets my motor going. And again, we all have that. We all have that kink about music, that there are things that we can never, ever deny. And And I got that from literally 4 seconds of this. It's interesting enough, the name of the song, because I am well and truly under its spell. Candlemass, people might have a point when they say this is the best, and I've still got to check out the Sciences by Sleep. Well, everything else by Sleep, for that matter. Let's face it. Oh, God. Yo, what's up?
No, just do you know the score?
It's nils each.
Yeah, full time.
Alright. Sorry about that. Oh my god. Can I just... I'm going to make a short point, ladies and gentlemen, but sing with me, meet your destiny, set yourself free to the magic. Whenever anybody tells me that they're going to set me free, the first thing that comes to my mind is this. I know it's literally right here.
Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forgettable, freed, hunter's dream.
Yeah, anytime I think about being set free, it immediately comes to this.
Dear, oh dear, what was it? The hunt, the blood, or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
Yeah, so that is literally the first thing that would ever come into my mind. If anybody ever tells you they're going to set you free, and don't be surprised if they ever give you two options: submit your life or refuse. But remember what I was saying, this is basically the doom metal equivalent of Master of Puppets. You feel bewitched, trapped, almost... It's almost like you kind of want this, though, because, let's face it, if you are caught under this spell, is it not better for it to be this way? Because, oh my god, the solo in this is... I've experienced and been showcased dozens of solos before in my life, ladies and gentlemen, both live and through doing this over the last 5 years. But that was genuinely one of the very best. That was amazing. Bewitched by daylight, you'll reach the night, dancing and singing to my fiddle. So take my hand. This is basically talking about like falling asleep, really, isn't it? It's about you feel so much happier, and you just kind of like, why not stay asleep forever? Like, because you get to be in the land of Nod, you get to dream about things, you get to do that, and is it not better for it to be like that? And if any of you guys know anything at all about my writing and about my stories, you know that I play around with the concept of dreams immensely. It is basically the driving force to a lot of my stuff. Some of my best and some of my slightly other stuff as well is... It goes hand in hand, because you can dream up exotic things. You can go to fantastic places you didn't even know could exist, and experience and encounter people you didn't know would exist. But then, of course, you can also fall into nightmares as well. Or maybe even a hunter's dream, perhaps, or a hunter's nightmare. And if I was to be honest, some depictions of my nightmares would look something like you're trying to get somewhere, but there is always an obstacle and you end up going back the way you came. That is like the majority of nightmares, is that there is a blockade, something that is physically not allowing you to pass, and there's almost nothing you can do to get past it. That's how I would describe my nightmares, ladies and gentlemen. But dreams, again, is a very nebulous concept, because, in fact, I can even give you certain things I could showcase to you in... where do you think I could find it, ladies and gentlemen? Because I've got my, let's see, The Interpretation of Dreams by Sigmund Freud. I've also got two psychological stuff related to dreams. I'll tell you what, let's get the old Freud out and The Interpretation of Dreams, the Psychology Classic by Sigmund Freud. I took like the cover because I think like the hardback it's just something else entirely. I mean, look at that. It's just black and then like matte black on top. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. So I kind of want to. So let's just again go through stuff like dreams, and this is what I want to know, ladies and gentlemen. We can actually learn something together. So take a look at this. An organized system. Freud suggested that there are particular ways that information flows into and around the system that is the mind. The information is then used and stored according to certain rules, particularly those imposed by self-censorship. We are very strict with ourselves, he noted, in terms of what we feel we should and should not think or do. We do this in order to be able to think of ourselves as essentially good people. This realization became key to Freud's thinking. He explained the mind in dynamic terms. As a system of notion, with information and energy flowing or being blocked through defensive or repressive actions. These actions serve to protect our own idea of ourselves. This is uncannily similar to the position that psychiatrics take today. The neuroscientist and psychotherapist Daniel Siegel, for instance, describes the mind as an emergent, self-organizing, embodied and relational process that regulates the flow of energy and information. The mind is not a thing, but in simple terms, a collection of neutral pathways and processes. Like the internet, it makes links, associations, and runs from one site to another along neural pathways, often coming to dead ends, incomplete or blocked memories, or feedback loops, circular thinking, and it operates extremely fast. We know now that the unconscious process of capability of the brain is approximately 11 million bits of information per second. Conscious processing is incredibly slow in comparison, at a maximum of 40 bits of information per second. This means that the vast majority of our thinking goes on without our having any awareness of it at all. Psychologists have devised experiments to access the processes of the non-conscious body, as today's scientists prefer to refer to, perhaps wanting to distance themselves from Freud. However, in the late 1890s, Freud was very aware that he lacked any of the tools that would be necessary to gain a true neuroscientific study of the mind. His only option was to be able to base all his research on the clinical experience of patients. He also happened to begin his clinical work, almost accidentally, with a group of extremely troubled women who were cast as female hysterics. And again, I don't necessarily want to go too deep into all this, but I'd say there's a lot of things to say about if we want to consider ourselves good people, because who in their right mind consciously would ever consider themselves a bad person? We may have done things we're ashamed of, may have done things that we don't necessarily, feel are necessarily that good, but does that mean, we do bad things, but does that make us technically bad people? Some might say yes, some people might say no, but maybe it's because we've been taught this way, and that, self-esteem should be a tool to keep people from actually being active or just getting them back to work. And maybe we've become bewitched by the whole notion of the fact that maybe, just maybe, we want things to stay as they are, to be happy, to be free, to be loved, for example. All human beings want love, but not everybody gets that. So, is it not right and just for us to think that maybe in some way we want to consider ourselves capable of love and of being loved? But love is sometimes kind of a bit like applause, in my opinion, which is also very similar to money. We would much rather receive it than to give it. Some people are absolutely capable of giving love and feeling very happy for it. It's about making another good person very happy indeed. And when put in this light, it almost seems to make too much sense as to why. But again, it works both ways, ladies and gentlemen. Bewitched by delight, you'll reach the night. So are we in delight and ecstasy that we feel loved and that the whole world has to sing to our tunes and stuff like that? Or can we not meet it halfway? Why not, give back to what we give so much? And this is probably why I wanted to get so heavily into like dream psychosis and read Freud and read about dream theorems and stuff like that, because this is like a dream being brought to the real world, or rather how Candlemass have described a process of a dream. We dream dreams, ladies and gentlemen, but does the dreamer dream of dreams that the dream will someday turn into the dreamer's dream? So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys felt of Bewitched and this sort of little TEDx sort of lecture for yourselves. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care and bye-bye for now.